Football is a sport that is a very close example to what life is like. Football and life have many similarities. That's the reason why a lot of coaches talk about football being an excellent step when you're getting ready for the game of life. And that's the game that you really want to win at. And that's the game of life. Some of the similarities are football season, when players first come into practice early in the month of August, the season seems like it'll never get there. That first 3 weeks of practice seems like an eternity. Football is a unique sport. Unless you've ever been part of a football team, you don't know what it's like to wear that jersey down the hall on Friday and into the pep rally. And all the little kids seem to just idolize you and look up to you. You don't know what it's like to run out on that field on Friday night when those lights are on. It is a unique sport simply because of the sacrifices and the work and the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes in the course of a football season in order to be successful. But all of a sudden, you play your first game. And before you know it, the seniors are playing at homecoming. And then this season is over. The same is very true for life. When you're young, all of a sudden you seem like you'll never be old enough to get into high school. It seems like that time stands still to some degree. Then you get into elementary school, then junior high. And then you never think that you'll ever reach that magic birthday age of 16 so you can get you a car and to ride around with your friends. Then you get tired of high school and you're ready to graduate. It seems like that senior year just never gets there until all of a sudden now you're seniors and you graduate. But from that point on in life, it seems like that time all of a sudden travels at light speed. Before you know it, you're married, having kids. Then you have some of your friends begin to pass away. Football and life are very similar. Is that there's many ups and downs during the course of both. There's a lot of disappointment, a lot of success, a lot of hard times, a lot of good times, a lot of rewards, punishments for when you make mistakes. Sometimes can be costly. Another thing is there's times in your life and then in the course of the football season that you really don't want to remember and you want to forget. But most of all, the memories that you receive from both that you'll cherish for the rest of your life. Football players and the football team is a source of community pride, school pride. When the football team does well, the whole community seems to jump on the bandwagon. School runs perfect because everybody can't wait to go to those football games on Friday night. So it is an important sport. But the biggest thing that football is, it is a source to teach lessons of life. And it is very true in the work ethic that you have to put forth and to be successful. Most of all is the unity that the team, when they come together, they become one big family, one big group of brothers. I'd like to say to my seniors, you never thought this day would come. You never thought that all of a sudden it would be your senior year. Now you've only got a few Friday nights left that are guaranteed for you. But that's one thing that I want to talk to you about. There's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees in football. You never know when that next play, it may be your last. And you never know in life that the next day may not never come for you. You should make sure that you're always prepared and always focused and ready for the next step in life or eternity. So when you play the game of football or the game of life, whether you play for your community, your father, or your team, or your brothers, or your family, or yourself, you just got to make sure that you play with no regrets, that you play full speed, and you do it the best that you can, because you never know when your last play may come. God bless.
My favorite game was with Yowie.
Favorite game was Bowden because it was our first game.
Probably one of my most favorite games was probably against Woodland, not just because it's our rival, but it's a bigger rival to me because I grew up with those people over there.
Big Griffith. What I will miss most is Cody Gay.
What I'm gonna miss the most about Woodland football is probably being around with all my brothers, and just hanging out before games.
Long practices.
The most about football in my senior year is the Friday nights before the game. Coach Strain's pregame speeches, they always spoke to my heart.
What I'll miss the most about playing football at Woodland is just how everybody in the community was into the games and everybody supported us no matter what, and just how all the little kids always looked up to us no matter what.
My best memory was the Walter Welber game when we made that goal line stand to win 21-20.
My best memory is being a Woodland football player and knowing I had some great coaches and great teammates.
My best memory of this football season was week 7. We played Lynette, and right before halftime, I had my ankle injury, and I thought it was pretty bad. I heard it pop, and I was just scared to death, and I was crying because I could have sworn my senior football season was over. And at halftime, Coach Strain just he asked the whole team to put their hands on me, and they prayed over me, and it really touched me. And through Coach Strain's faith and through the faith of the rest of the football team, I was healed, and I was able to walk on the sidelines after halftime.
What I learned from Woodland football is that the skin of the potato is actually better for you than the meat of the potato.
I've learned a lot throughout the years playing football at Woodland, but one of the most important ones is just how the bondage you can have with your teammates and just realizing that you always got them there no matter what. And to me, that's what separates a friend from a brother.
I learned sportsmanship, Woodland football. I don't know how to explain it. And what I learned from Woodland football is that you can be a strong individual and to never give up when faced with adversity.
I had good friends during football practice. Always try to do your best.
Is family. With a family, you can accomplish anything you want. And it's a team sport, and football teaches you about life. And the guys that I play with, I'm going to be close to them for the rest of my life, and I know they're my brothers. So I just know that with family and with God, that all things are possible.
Teamwork. Trusting on your friends and family to be there for you no matter what happens.
Responsibility and the hard work you have to put into something to reach a goal.
Hard work and perseverance will get you where you need to be.
How you can depend on people and how people can depend on you when you really need them to and when they really need you to.
I learned that anybody can have a team, but it takes a bunch of brothers to have a family.
What I learned about playing football at Woodland is most of the time people are going to be against you, and you're not always going to be the biggest or the fastest or the strongest, but it's the hard work and the adversity you overcome that makes everything worth doing.